The new Xbox CEO has just come out and hinted at exclusives potentially coming back. That's alongside an announcement that will get a new look at the next generation this year. Chuck in some brand new gaming announcements alongside all of this, and yeah, it's been one heck of a week for Team Green. With that though, my name is Fletcher and this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive into the Xbox news that has occurred over the past week. In some massive breaking news which has occurred as of today, French game publisher and accessory maker Nacon has announced that at the tail end of last week, the company has filed for insolvency after hitting serious financial trouble. Looking at the team's press release on the matters though, it has been revealed that the majority shareholder, named Big Ben Interactive, has effectively failed to make a loan repayment, and it now means that Nacon doesn't actually have the funding it needs to properly operate. The team over at Nacon have actually stated that its available assets do not allow it to meet its due liabilities, which basically means that the company's value isn't enough to keep operating as it is right now. The team appears to be hoping that a restructure of some sort can turn its fortunes around, and then obviously keep it moving forward into the near future. What's extra curious about this news though is that the publisher has a Nacon Connect event which is planned exactly 1 week as of today on the 4th of March, where a variety of its different teams are really expected to make some huge announcements regarding their future projects. But of course, we have to wait and see now if that's actually going to go ahead or not. It is a real shame, as I really loved the recent Styx game. Robocop was utterly fantastic, and their new controller, which I actually had hands-on with for the Xbox 360 celebration, is just so bloody phenomenal. Hopefully they turn the ship around in the near future, as it would be such a shame to see this publisher go. Talking of stuff coming in the near future though, check this out. Ever since it was first announced all the way back in 2023, I've been insanely interested in Mouse PI for Hire. This is the noir-inspired first-person shooter, and late last year we finally had our locked-in release date as of March 2026. But now the team has again delayed the game a little bit further and a last-minute address to their fans. They actually posted this one out across all of their social media channels this week, and Fumi Games has pushed back the release date for Mouse PI to Hire until the 16th of April this year. The team cites a desire to deliver us the best game they possibly can as the reason for needing just a few more weeks to launch the Cuphead-style FPS on our Xbox consoles. Personally, I cannot wait to see how this one fares on launch, but I will cover it with a review nearer that time, of course. If you love playing the Elder Scrolls Online on your console, but you would also like to continue your adventures across on PC, I have some very great news for you. Yes, the Elder Scrolls Online is getting Xbox Play Anywhere support rather soon. With that said, although the feature is now showing on the game store page, ZeniMax said it's currently only being tested and not available for players just yet. According to the ZeniMax community manager over on Reddit, the team plans to roll out Xbox Play Anywhere support for ESO later this year, letting all of us players with Xbox accounts play the game across our consoles and also PC. If you actually go over to the Xbox PC app as of right now, you will see that it is showing available there. It does show also your unlocked achievements, and even says you can download the game for just 10 megabytes. That's interesting to say at least. Interestingly though, when ESO finally arrives onto the Xbox PC app with Xbox Play Anywhere, you won't be able to transfer your current PC progress into the new version, as it will essentially run on the Xbox servers, not on PC. If you're like me, your only adventures in ESO have only been spent on Xbox consoles at this point, then the added PC support will be a welcome change of pace if you do fancy playing at your desk, of course. Sadly though, if you have been playing it on PC via the likes of Steam, but you want to have the game on your Xbox profile, you will unfortunately need to restart with an Xbox account. Still, what do you think of this? Do you still play ESO? Do let me know down below. Whilst down there, also make sure to hit that subscribe button, as over 68% of you are not subscribed to the largest dedicated and also independent Xbox channel here on YouTube. There is going to be even more Xbox focused content, including reviews, dev interviews, updates, news, and so much more in the coming weeks, and the best way to support me and to keep up to date is by hitting that button. Now, in terms of big support though, you need to check out this next bit of news, as it seems that Xbox might be changing their strategy very soon. We have all been seeing the massive changes and announcements following the retirement of ex-Xbox CEO Phil Spencer, and we now know that the new CEO Asher Sharma has taken up that mantle. There have of course been a ton of speculation, fake clickbait headlines of course, and so much more that has occurred, but as of yesterday, friend of the channel Jez Corden from over at Windows Central has published an article after sitting down and interviewing the new Xbox head, and honestly there was some very interesting news that did drop. One statement from Asher, which had many fans, including myself, kind of scratching our heads at the start of the week, was when she said a return to Xbox. Jez managed to sit down and ask her that question directly, and here is what Asher had to say. For me, the spirit of return to Xbox is about returning to the spirit that the team was founded on. It's that spirit of surprise, it's the spirit of building something nobody else was willing to try. I've heard Renegade, Rebellion, and Fun used. That's what I was thinking when I wrote about that. Sharma then seems to acknowledge the investment that Xbox fans and customers like ourselves have really poured into its ecosystem over many years, and she seemed genuinely keen to emphasize her commitment to console hardware. She did state the following: I think that our core Xbox fans and players have invested up to 25 years of themselves in these universes and our console. I want to make sure everybody knows I'm committed to Xbox, starting with the console. We're going to keep meeting players where they are. The world continues to evolve and also change. We're going to make sure that Xbox is a great place for both developers and also players. To be honest, as many of you kind of know by now, there's been a ton of speculation about what kind of moves Asher might make, but for me personally, I've always been a little bit more optimistic about her approach. Still, if you do remember, Xbox notoriously ditched any form of exclusivity in its games, shifting units to PlayStation, paying little mind to the criticisms that it reduces the need to actually buy an Xbox console. Asher then told Jez that nothing is off the table when it comes to revising Xbox's strategy. When asked about what Asher thought about the idea of returning to exclusive games, she said the following: right now, I need to learn, candidly, about the why of these decisions, what are we optimizing for, and what the data says about the Xbox strategy today. That's the honest answer. I'm looking at lifetime value, not just what happened in a previous moment or in a short-term efficiencies and things like that. The plan's the plan, until it's not the plan. Honestly, to me, Asher is kind of saying all the right things, but of course you do have to take any of these sort of PR statements with a very big pinch of salt. Ultimately, the proof is going to be in the pudding. I do want to see real action on these statements, as we've been let down so many times in the past by these specific sorts of statements before. I am still more optimistic, especially as our next bit of news, which I'm going to cover, hammers that home even more. In this same interview with Jez, the Xbox boss then hinted that we'll hear more about the new console hardware very soon. Indeed, when elaborating on her recent comments about returning to Xbox, Sharma talked about what's coming in terms of next-gen hardware. Sharma did say you will hear more about this soon, with some hardware announcements coming up from Microsoft and Team Xbox. It is nice to see though that Sharma is recommitting to the new Xbox hardware, especially because the now departed Sarah Bond seemed to be the figurehead behind the whole Microsoft's next-gen console strategy and that whole This Is an Xbox campaign, which was just utterly dreadful. Of course, it does take a whole team of people to put together a new hardware launch. It does sound like they've got their work with AMD, which is ongoing, as the next generation Xbox is currently being built. Having said that though, I am curious to see if the new Xbox chief will make any notable pivots on the new console before it does arrive. It does sound like 2027 has actually been the plan for quite some time now, but with Sharma's new comments and the component crisis really gathering some pace lately, I do kind of wonder if elements of the next gen Xbox will be taken back to the drawing board. Only time will tell though. It does sound though like new hardware announcements are coming rather soon, and I do reckon we might hear about them this year. What do you think about all of this news though? Are you more positive about this new strategy and the recommitment to our Xbox consoles? Do let me know your thoughts on it down below, and let's have a discussion. Also, if you do want to check out the full article, I've also left a link to Jez's interview down below, as it's a cracking article and he did a phenomenal job. In some great news as well though, you may remember that Vampire Survivors took the world by storm when it first dropped onto Xbox a few years back now. However, in 2026, the team is now delivering a follow-up in the form of Vampire Crawlers, and it just got a free demo on your Xbox consoles. Yes, the Vampire Crawlers demo for the Xbox Series X, NES and PC is now live on the Microsoft Store, and as you'd expect, is a kind of modest download to be honest. You're looking at just over 1 gig to really test out Vampire Crawlers on your platform of choice, and I'm actually going to be diving into this one as soon as this video ends. In case you forgot though, the full Vampire Crawlers game will also launch day 1 onto Xbox Game Pass at some point this year, as that was announced during the Microsoft Partner Preview event last November. I have a feeling I might get a little bit addicted to a Poncle title once again on the service this year, but you can expect more news on this one very, very soon. With just a few more months to go before we can start driving around in Japan thanks to Forza Horizon 6, Playground Games has now actually given us a deep dive into the campaign, revealing more on the Horizon Festival's progression-driven structure. In this entry though, Forza Horizon 6 is actually going to be moving away from the trope of starting off as a superstar racing champion, as we saw in Forza Horizon 4 and also 5. This time you're going to be a tourist starting at the bottom with a dream of joining that Forza Horizon Festival. Essentially, we'll then have to build a name for ourselves and then work our way up to Horizon Legend status. The team have given us a little bit more of an idea about how we're going to get into this Horizon Festival. We'll essentially have to complete Horizon qualifiers and then the Horizon Invitational to earn your first wristband. Playground have stated that the festival races are a curated experience, requiring us to enter using a specific set of cars in over road, dirt, and cross-country events. With each of the new wristbands that you earn, you'll then be invited to compete in more events around Japan, and you'll rise up through the ranks in that Horizon Festival. These races will of course feature different car themes, challenging to master faster, more thrilling cars, and so much more. Honestly, I kind of dig this way of doing things. I feel like the progression is actually more meaningful, especially as it now has us trying many different stylizations of cars. My main gripe personally for Forza Horizon 4 and 5 is that you could pretty much get an outrageously great car right out the gate, and it meant it did get quite boring quite quickly at times. I cannot wait to see more about Forza Horizon, and yes, I will have more dedicated videos about it soon, so do make sure to subscribe down below. Make sure to also like this video whilst you're down there if you did enjoy it, and check out the video on screen now if you want to check out the cracking sales going on within the Xbox store as of right now.